Hi, everybody. Thanks for listening this week. I have done a lot of interviews over the past couple of weeks with people that are in the acting or singing or just entertainment industry overall. And it made me kind of reflect back from whenever I was a kid about, I don't know, maybe not every kid is like this, but I was like this, where I'm like, do I want to be a actor? Or I knew I couldn't be a singer because I knew I didn't have the voice for that. But would I want to be an actor or entertainer? And I remember whenever I was in high school and I thought about going to this performing arts high school that is in Miami. And I thought I'd go for acting. And so I remember I had a video camera, and me and my friend Sarah, I went to her house and I was trying to do a monologue where I was going to record one monologue. It was a Ferris Bueller's Day Off monologue where it's at the beginning of the movie. And Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a very 80s movie with Matthew Broderick, and it was just great. Jennifer Grey was in it, and it was an amazing movie that I've watched probably a million times. So I'm sitting in my friend Sarah's bed as she's filming me on this video camera that was probably a VHS video camera, I assume. And I'm doing the monologue where I'm sitting in bed and I set up as Ferris Bueller did, and I say this whole monologue. And I did it like 5 or 6 times. And I remember that I don't think I did it very well, which is probably why I did not submit the tape to try to go to this acting high school or this performing arts high school. And then I asked my friend Sarah, I'm like, can you do it? And she like sit down and she did it, and she did it so much better than I did. Um, and she also had a really good voice. I remember her boyfriend at the time in high school or college got her a recording studio session where she recorded like a full album, and her voice was so good. And she's a teacher now, and her husband's a lawyer, and they live in New Orleans, and she has a really good life and 2 great kids that I think are probably in their last year of high school or even in college already. One of them maybe. But that being said, I thought I was going to be a performing arts high school kid at one point because I didn't feel fulfilled going to my regular high school. And anyway, that didn't work out. And maybe that's why I have now run into started to do podcast, and everything maybe has led up to me being a podcaster. So here I am. My guest today's name is Belle, and she also has done a lot, and she's kind of early in her acting career, and she has a lot of ambition. And it just kind of reminded me when I was talking with her about whenever I was younger, like the things that I wanted to do. And she is much more talented in acting and directing and things than I was at that age. And so I wish her luck, and I hope you enjoy her interview today. Thanks so much for listening. Hi, thanks for joining me on the Everything and Anything and a Bit Gay podcast. Today, my guest is an award-winning actress, filmmaker, and rising creative force in Hollywood. Belle Guillory has starred in the South by Southwest winning horror film Bitch Ass and has earned major stage accolades for the Valley Song. And she is developing fresh original stories like the latest short, God Be With Us, now streaming on Fox Soul. So from working with icons like Tracy Ellis Ross to hosting top beauty brands, Belle is all about authenticity, creativity, and heart. So let's dive right into her journey, and please welcome Belle to the show.
Woo! Yay! Happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Zach.
So you were from Austin, Texas originally, right?
Yes, I was born in Austin, and then I was also raised in West Texas.
Okay, and how was that? And now you're in LA now, right?
Yep, I've been here for about 7 years now.
So how is that growing up? I mean, Austin is pretty liberal and laid back and creative, and you got South by Southwest that's taken over the city basically, or has made the city. So how was it growing up there and then moving to LA?
In Texas in general, I love Texas. First of all, it's my home. The people, the Southern hospitality, we definitely have that. We're very welcoming. And the food, come on, we're the
Yeah, it's
barbecue
great.
state. Like,
The food is great.
yes, I grew up with my grandmother barbecuing like for any major holiday.
Yeah.
And so that's always like special to me. So moving to LA, I was used to, like you said, like Austin and being in Dallas and even
Yeah.
Houston, you have family there. So like I was kind of used to driving in the big cities. But LA is a different
It is a
place.
different town. It is a different town.
It is, and I'm not gonna lie, it did take some navigating like the first
Yeah.
couple of years. It, you got to find your footing, you got to find your tribe, and and I also think you're learning more about yourself in the process. Like I was away from my family and stuff. I moved here with like my close friend from Texas. We came out here, so I really only had him to depend on. So yeah,
Is
so
he
it's
still there with you?
yeah, he still lives in LA. He still lives.
Okay. Cool. And is he in the entertainment industry also, or is he doing something different?
No, I think he works at Equinox. He works at
Okay.
yeah.
Good for him.
But he did come out here to be a singer. Like,
Okay.
two young people
Yeah.
leaving Texas, coming out to the big city. I guess it's like the typical story.
Yeah, you either go to LA or New York when you want to do your profession. So,
Yeah, yeah. And that's actually because I went to New York Film Academy, right?
okay.
And they had me choose. Well, actually, they told me like you're gonna go to the New York campus. I was like, oh, hold on, I'm from Texas. I'm not used to the
Yeah.
cold now.
Yeah.
We gonna have to go to LA. And so, yeah, I definitely had to choose between the two as well.
Yeah. I mean, you get used to the cold once you live in the Northeast, though, eventually.
Where are you from? Are you from out there?
So I grew up in Miami, and then I moved to New York after college, and then I lived in Dallas for a year and a half. It was too hot for me. And then I've lived in Switzerland, and I've lived 18 other places. So,
Oh, wow. So, okay, so you get it when you get used to the cold.
yes, I'm in Boston now, so I'm used to the cold.
Oh,
Yeah.
but hey, the snow's beautiful though.
Yeah, it's nice, but you get sick of it by, the end of January. You just want to like jump off a bridge because you're so tired of the cold. So, but yes. So what kind of drew you to acting and filmmaking in the first place? Like was there something as you were growing up that you're like, this is what I want to do? Tell me about that.
It definitely started. It's funny that you say this because as I was showering this morning, I thought of one of my very first performances at like 10 years old on the radio. And I think that really sparked it for me. I was a shy kid. I was the kid that wouldn't talk to anybody. But performing was always just a different thing. It was a musical. So
Okay.
musicals was like my first like step into it. And I just absolutely fell in love with being the lead. We got to dance to Footloose and
Yeah.
sing. So that's really what like drew me in. And I've always been a fan of like Disney Channel, like, That's So Raven. She was my girl, so I always like saw that and was like, wow, I can do that. I want to do that. I want to go out there and pursue this. So yeah, that's
Awesome.
kind of what drew me in. And I've always been into storytelling.
And did your family support you, or are they like, no, you got to go, you need to go and be a doctor or a lawyer, or they're like, nope, if you want to do acting, filmmaking, whatever, go for it. How were they supportive?
They were supportive. My mom was supportive 100%. It's funny
Okay.
because actually when I was 14, 15, we came to LA for a competition actually.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like iPop and you perform. There was like thousands of kids and we performed for agents. So at 15, I signed with my first agent and I was actually auditioning for like Disney stuff, but from Texas. So back then, I don't know if you know this, but we'd send in DVDs.
yes.
We'd have to burn our self-tapes on DVDs.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
dating yourself now. You know that, right?
I know. That's what I'm like. I really sound old as heck.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we used to do. And then eventually doing the audition route from Texas, because I'm the eldest of 8. So we couldn't move out here or come out here for pilot season like I know some other people did. So yeah, I would audition for like Shake It Up and like, that kind of era. So, I'm not that old, y'all, but
Yeah, yeah.
Dog with a Blog,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And then eventually I was like, man, I'm not getting anything. And so then that's when like I decided to go to college and get my marketing degree.
Yeah, cool. Let's talk about South by Southwest. Let's talk about Bitch Ass. How did that come up? Tell me.
Oh my goodness, bitch ass. So, my agent at the time, she sent me the breakdown, the audition. I was like, and it's funny because I seen it before, and I was like, bitch ass. Oh hell
Yeah.
no, I ain't doing
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
with that. And then all of a sudden, my agent gives it to me, and I'm like, what? And so now I'm about to do it. I instantly love the character I play. So I played Cricket. She's
Hmm.
like one of the boys,
Yeah.
and I love that because when I grew up, I was one of the guys too. Like I was like always hanging out with the guys.
Yeah. Like straight guys, gay guys, all guys. Like what type of guys were you hanging out with?
All guys, gay guys. Well, my friend that I moved out here with, my best friend, gay
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
I was always surrounded by. Actually, it's funny because I dated this guy once. He's like, "You're always surrounded by gay guys."
Yeah.
I love my gay guys.
Yeah.
And so, but so I was always surrounded by guys, and so I was like, I fell in love with her, and she was tough too. Like
Yeah.
she's tough. She like plays no game, so I loved her. Now the funny thing is, I don't like horror films. I'm a baby when it comes to horror films.
Okay.
Everyone in my family loves horror films, from my grandmother, my siblings, so I'm forced to watch horror films.
Yeah.
And it's funny, my first main role was a horror film.
So tell me how you, like, whenever you get a role like this or any role that's different from who you are as a person, how do you kind of prepare for that? How do you get ready for somebody that's a character that's not like you at all?
I love that question. So one thing about me is, so in Hollywood they say like there's the character actors and then there's the personality actors. I would call myself a character actor
Yeah.
because I love to escape into characters. So when it came to like getting Cricket, for instance, I remember I was working with a friend who was actually from South Central, and these characters are from South Central.
Mhm.
And I remember I was doing it, I was like playing it, concept. She was like, Belle, you need an accent. Like you need to get into like the South Central. So what I do is then from there, I started studying like Kendrick Lamar, who's also
Yeah.
from like South Central, Nipsey Hussle, especially because she's like from like the hood area. So I started listening to them. I started just listening to them, copying like their mannerisms.
Yep.
And that's kind of how I got into it. But I also pull a little bit of myself. So with Cricket, this is like, yes, it's horror, but it also has like some campy feel, like comedy feel.
Mhm.
So some of my favorite 90s comedians, as Friday, they're also like in Compton, like,
Yep.
South LA. I love Chris Tucker. So like, pulling from other characters that I admire that I feel would fit the character to like mold her.
Awesome. Have you ever, like, when you're doing a character, like some actors don't leave their character the whole time they're filming. Do you ever do that? Or you're just like, okay, when I'm off stage or I'm not in front of the camera, I'm back to myself again? Or I'm trying to think what actor like stayed in character for like 3 months, even on and off camera. Like, have you ever thought about that? Or I feel like that'd be too
Yeah,
much.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I hear about that a lot. The funny thing is, well, two things. Well, one, I tried to do that, but it is so hard to
Yeah.
do it like in your normal life. But
Yeah.
on set, I do try to get into it.
Yeah.
Like I remember getting ready and like telling the other actors, like, hold on, guys, like, give me a minute. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in this.
Yeah.
But the second thing I want to bring up is it's funny because when my friends watched it, they were like, Belle, this is kind of like you. Because, you do bring yourself into that character as well.
So when you're not acting, you're not writing, you're not directing or producing your own work, like kind of like what inspires you? Like what do you like to do?
I like museums. I like to paint. During COVID, I really got into painting.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother loved to do. I love to go for walks. I went for a walk this morning. I feel like life inspires me. Just
Okay,
like,
good.
people watching, and I kind of just let, God guide me. The spirit guide me. Like one day is like going to this coffee shop, and then you don't know what you're going to see or who you're going to meet. So it's like life is the inspiration.
Yeah. So I want to talk about God Be With Us. So it's getting a lot of attention. It just landed on Fox Soul. So what was the origin story of that project? What do you want audiences to take from it?
I want audiences to take the heart of God Be With Us. To be yourself, no matter what your circumstances is. And yeah, like love is really the heart of it. So what inspired it is, so growing up, my dad was a pastor. So when you ask, like, my mom was very supportive of me
Yeah.
acting, my dad was not. He was
Okay.
like, that's Sin City.
Yeah.
And so growing up in like a strict religious household, I wanted to live my life. I
Yeah.
wanted to have those, especially once I got into high school. You see Mean Girls, you see,
Yeah.
all those 90s high school movies.
Yeah. They're the best.
Exactly. You want to live that life. You're like, I want to go to parties. And it's funny because people are like, they make God into a box. But when I got to high school, I felt like God was supportive of me. Like he was with me through all my shenanigans. Like
Yeah.
all of a sudden the cool kids know my name and I'm like, thank you, God. You got my back.
Yeah.
And it's like, now I'm invited to my party. And so it really is following the journey of this girl, this coming of age story with God on her side, with a relationship with God, like normalizing that, like no matter what your circumstances are, like he's with you through it all, through
Yeah.
my first kiss, through drinking beer at a party the first time. And so, yeah, in a funny, heartful family comedy way.
Yeah. So you've created work for the NAACP Cinematic Shorts competition. How does being part of that kind of reflect your mission as a storyteller?
Oh, yes.
You've done a lot. You've done a lot. And I don't know how, don't tell me how old you are because I don't need to know, but you look younger, but I think you're older because you've done so much. Like I just looking at your bio, I did a Google search of you. There's a lot happening.
There is. And that's, you know what? Thank you for that. Because sometimes you need a reminder of what all you've done. Because sometimes we're like, no, I need to, be doing more and go further. But yeah, so I made a film with the NAA. I'll tell you my age off camera. But
Okay.
I did make a film for the NAACP. And that was such a great experience because so pretty much we had to focus on highlighting stories within Black social injustice.
Okay.
It really took me back to like high school, college days of like, so I did debate and what we're taught is bringing those important life messages, those, social impact messages, social justice messages in an entertaining way. And so with that, I really got to tap into that and bring my heart, family point of view, but still have that social injustice. So our topic was about the book bans happening, especially focusing on like, BIPOC authors. And also they're changing Black history right now.
Yeah, they are.
In schools from slavery to Black immigration.
Yeah.
So we focused on like this 12-year-old girl, like in school learning about her history and it's not there. And then a magical creature, he's the CEO of Black history, takes her on this beautiful journey of loving herself and finding out her true history. So we highlight to the community that kids need to know, where they're coming from and the truth about their history, So that was the film. And so it was very satisfying, to put something positive in the community. I'm all about positive impact with my art.
Yeah.
So yeah, and just spreading that light and being informational, educational.
Yeah, you need to make sure that Florida sees that because they're the one really trying to take away Black history.
Yes, I was just reading an article about that the other day. Yes, no, you're right.
Not to get political or anything, but there's a lot going on in Florida. So as always.
There is. And that's what we're trying to do is get it shown at schools. We did have a school show it during Black History Month in Seattle. So, we're making our rounds. We got away from Seattle to get to Florida, but
yeah. So you've done live streams with major beauty brands like One Size and e.l.f. What do you love working in the beauty industry? Like I love skincare products. I love all the beauty stuff. Like what do you love that as part of what you've done?
Yes, for sure. I am a beauty girl all the way, baby.
Yeah.
I definitely get that from my mom. She really taught us about, how to present yourself.
Yeah.
Especially like, taking it back to church, it's like a fashion show competition in churches.
Oh, yeah.
So you already know. So we were kind of taught that. So I love beauty. I love skincare. And especially getting into acting around 15 years old, that's when I was introduced to makeup for the first time. And so I just fell in love. I love the makeup chair. That's like my favorite part of being on set. So working with those brands was actually a dream come true. I used them all. And the best part is, I didn't have to pay for them. So
yeah,
that's
I mean, that's what you need. You need to get a good sponsor that's going to like come and promote my beauty brand. And also, here's a box every month. We're giving you a free product. That's really what you need.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And so,
So if
and
anybody's
this,
out there listening, L'Oreal or any of the big brands, like Belle's ready.
yes, 100%. Because there was a point, like, I was like, man, makeup is so expensive and I'm buying it. And that's another example of me praying. I was like, God, I just want free
Yeah.
makeup and free
Yeah.
skincare.
Yeah.
And then boom, I landed this live streaming gig working for these brands. From K Beauty as well. Oh my gosh, they just transformed my skin.
Yeah.
So much love for the beauty community. So much love. They're changing the game. Okay. They're so inclusive as well nowadays.
Yeah.
So like, it's just going up.
So you're a trained vocalist and a trained dancer as well. So how do those disciplines kind of come in and help you when you're doing your acting and directing?
Oh, yes. Honestly, you know, when it comes to acting, this is your temple, you know, our body is our instrument. And so you have to know how to take care of it properly. So when it comes to like singing and dancing, it really helped with my voice, especially with like theater. You have to project, and going from film back to theater was kind of tricky for me because like, you know, you're talking like this and it's like intense, but then in theater, you're filling up this whole room. So having vocal lessons really teaches you how to like project, but taking care of your voice. And dance, come on, I love the Buses in general.
Yeah.
But also, you want to stay fluid as well because, you know, some actors starting off, you can be stiff, you can be scared, but you want, when it comes to dance and movement, every character carries themselves like so differently. Like I just did a theater workshop last week. And like, she was like, I love how you made the character just like, she just flopped her arms. Like you brought that to the character. Like you never know what your character is going to bring out in you. So I think dance movement really helped with that as well.
So what is your dream? I have a couple of questions about that too. So it's multi-part.
Okay.
First, what is your dream? A movie, TV series, stage? So that's one question. And the other question I have is, who would be the dream cast that you would work, or the dream star, a man and a woman? I'd like to know who would be the ultimate, like, if I could work with this man or this woman, that would be my dream. So first, what is it? Stage, TV, movie? What would you prefer?
Okay, so for TV, I'm a TV girl through and through. So the dream is to have my own TV series.
Okay,
like,
see, got it.
The goal is. Like I said, that's what Raymond, I love that. You know, I love family comedy. So that's the dream. And eventually, you know, do all of it, but that's the first one.
Yeah.
Now, the dream cast or the dream people that I would love to work with.
A man and a woman.
Just in general.
Just in general. It could be anything.
Okay, Leo is the guy. Leo.
Okay. All right.
Leo is the guy. He's the guy. I would love to work with that man. He's the first one that came into my head. Yes. Even though he's older now. You know,
well, it doesn't matter if he's older because he's got a 19-year-old girlfriend right now, so he's okay with it.
But like we said about age, I'm older. But
you may be out of it. You may be too old for him now, though, because you're not in your teens anymore. So,
but to work with, he's the guy. I think he's so talented. His character work is just incredible. He gets lost in it. I love that. Woman, girl, oh my gosh, there's so many. Oh my gosh, my mind, there's so many. I would love to work with, I think I'm picking some powerhouses, but
do it. You go for it all the way.
Viola Davis.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Like, you know, I'm picking the top dogs, but they're the ones.
That's who you need to go for. Viola is amazing. Like, I really hope you get to work with her one day. So she's. I mean, you've worked with some good people though. Tracy Ellis Ross, that's a good one.
Yes, and she's a comedy legend. Yeah, so pretty much with that, we worked on the movie Candy Cane Lane. Yeah, and so Eddie Murphy was also on that movie. So to watch them work, I was just blown away.
How was it working with her and being on, you know, the same movie with Eddie Murphy? That's pretty major.
First, like, it was like a dream come true, honestly. And to be there, and I feel like there's a reason, because I wasn't in front of the camera. I was behind the scenes this time.
Okay.
Working with them. I was Tracy's assistant on the movie. And so I was right next to her with Eddie, and I just learned so much. I feel like that moment was to just soak up as much information as I can. And she's so great. Like, I'm still in touch with her team. They're amazing with her own production company. And to see a woman like that balancing so many things in her life, hair care company, production company, acting, was honestly just inspiring.
Well, it sounds like you're on your way there with all the stuff you're doing.
I know, right? So it's just aligned.
Yeah. I mean, you got to learn from people like her, and that sounds like that's exactly what you were doing when you were working with her. So that's amazing.
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
So what do you have coming up next? Do you have anything, new projects coming up in the future, or stuff that you're going for that you're hoping will come through? Anything that you want to tell the audience about?
Yeah, right now we're always creating. Right now I'm actually, wanting to work on another short film, but in animation.
Oh, wow.
Like I want to dive into that. I'm always a person that wants to try new things.
Yeah.
I'm still auditioning, of course. So we'll see, you never know what you're going to get in that lane. And then I want to focus on continuing to grow my production company. Right now we are pitching the short film God Be With Us. So who knows? It may get picked up into a series. Fingers crossed for that. Been talking to different studios. And lastly, grow as a person, grow as an artist.
Yeah. What about your dating scene? What's happening there?
Oh, Lord, that is non-existent. Oh, my goodness. Yo.
Do you want a relationship? Because if so, people will see this and you never know.
Zach.
I mean, it just takes the right person to see this video and be like, I'm going to get in touch with her.
Do I want to? I'm open. Listen, I'm open for the right candidate.
Okay.
You never know where we can go.
All right. Well, listen, this is what I always tell my guests whenever I do this. If you were interested in dating Belle, you can DM me. I will qualify them or I will dismiss them. And all I ask is if I find the person you're supposed to be with when you have a wedding, I just have to make a speech at the wedding. That's all I ask.
Okay. Deal.
Okay. Handshake. Yes, we got it. So, well, if somebody wants to learn more about you, how can they find you?
Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Belle Peppa. Get it? Like the bell pepper.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good one.
So, follow on Instagram. Also, GuilloryEntertainment.com. That's the production company page. Yep. Yeah.
And I will put Belle's Instagram and website in the description of the podcast or the video if you're watching the video. So go check it out. Send her a DM. But if you're interested in dating her, you got to DM me because she's not going to answer you. I am going through that approval process. So
yes. Thank you, Zach. Vet these people for me.
Yes, please. I will vet them. Well, thank you. I'm so glad I got a chance to talk with you. You have an amazing already career happening, and all the things that you've done is amazing. I didn't even go through all the different award things that you've done. So, but people can look those up on Google. But you've really got a great thing happening, and I'm so happy I got to meet you. And everybody should go find God Be With Us. Let's hope that it gets picked up as a series because that would be amazing. Yeah. And when it becomes a series, you got to come back on the show and tell everybody how that happened.
I know. I can't wait.
Well, thank you so much for being on. Be sure again to follow Belle on Instagram. Check out her website. And thank you so much for being a guest. You've been amazing.
Oh, thank you, Zach. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and also leave a message and tell us what you think about Belle's show, God Be With Us. Thanks, everybody.